Hello, everybody.
Hi, we're live
We are
for our
live.
second Adobe Fonts show. I'm so excited to be back here.
Very excited.
So, I'm Ari. I work on the Adobe Fonts team, working with our Foundry partners that design the fonts and bringing them to our customers and just managing that font library, as we call it, and deciding what we add, what we bring to you. And Ben,
I'm Ben. I'm in Brooklyn. I work on the Adobe Fonts team with Ari. I'm on the content side of things. I started in support, answering questions for a long, long time and really getting to know what our customers' needs were, and then transitioned over into starting to create content so that we could answer some of those questions and get people started with Adobe Fonts even faster and make it even easier for everyone. So, yeah, glad to be here. Glad to be here with you, Ari.
me too. We always have fun. And I see we have a lot of friends here already. We have Tim who's moderating the chat. Thanks, Tim,
Thanks,
and good
Tim.
to see you. We have Kate, Sean, Mike. Welcome back, Mike. Welcome
Gareth.
back, Norsh, Rick. So Ben said he's in Brooklyn. I'm in San Francisco. Let us know where you're from. I see Michael's from England. Alana's also from Brooklyn. Hey,
Yeah,
Alana. Good
hey.
to have you here. Annika is back. Great. So we have a lot of people that have seen some of our streams before, and I'm sure there's a lot of new people and also maybe completely new to the Adobe Fonts service and maybe have a lot of questions. So that's why we're here.
This,
Ben, do you want to give a little overview of what Adobe Fonts is?
yes. And first of all, this is the stream for you if you have questions about Adobe Fonts. As you may know by the title, we're going to get into as much of it as we possibly can so that you can get started from wherever you are. But Adobe Fonts is a subscription font library and a set of tools and services that come with that, features, um, that allow you to use 18,000 plus fonts in your creative projects. And this is different from how people were getting fonts a few years ago. Generally, you would purchase a font one at a time, and you might need to get it approved by a client before you made that purchase, and you might have to get them to approve the amount or all of those things. And it was also more difficult to kind of experiment with type and get to know what you really like. And Adobe Fonts kind of changed all of that because you had an entire library of commercially available type from some of the best foundries in the world, and you could just
True.
try things out, find what you're looking for, find stuff you're not sure about, but just get it into the apps and just get started with it. So that's Adobe Fonts in a nutshell. We're going to get into a lot more detail in a few seconds,
Yeah.
but that's Adobe Fonts. So
And we have a few more people joining. Erin Leah from Cambridge, Massachusetts.
cool,
Drew's from London. Ven is from South Africa. Stefan is from Glasgow.
nice.
Hugh is from the Lower Haight here in San Francisco, so he's not too far from me. And Julie from Wisconsin, Garv from India. Okay,
So
so we
cool.
have a lot of people
Yeah.
watching us, so we better bring out the content. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about where you can get started with Adobe Fonts. It's pretty much everywhere. Tim just asked which subscriptions have Adobe Fonts included. Almost every single subscription that you can buy from Adobe includes Adobe Fonts. So
Yes.
whether that's a single app subscription, such as the photography plan, whether it's the full Creative Cloud subscription, Acrobat Pro also includes Adobe Fonts. So pretty much everything. And that means that you can use Adobe Fonts in all of these apps we show on this screen right now,
Yep.
plus more. This is just like some of them that we're actually going to be showing you today. So we are going to just speed through and show you like what can you do in the font menu? How can you access the fonts in each of these apps?
Yes, and if this is sparking any questions or any ideas, and you see something you want to ask about that's on here, chances are we'll get to it later in the stream. So definitely shout out that question when we get to that area. If you have a question about a particular app or a particular workflow, let us know. I see Fergie is here from London. That's awesome. I think we have people from all over the place. David from San Diego, awesome. James from the Bay Area, cool. So let's dive right in, I think. Yeah.
All right. So I can dive into the Creative Cloud app at first to show you. We all have this app if we are downloading any of these applications here, such as Photoshop. So it's the little cloud icon at the top of your menu bar here at the top. And when you open that, there is a really easy way to get access to your fonts. And it's clicking this little F. See, when I hover over it, it says fonts. What a surprise. So when I click that, I can see all the fonts that I have active. If I've never activated fonts from Adobe Fonts before, there will be something that says, you know, you don't have any fonts yet. And I can browse more fonts from here. What that will do is just take me straight to the Adobe Fonts website. And then I can just, you know, browse through the website and look through there. But if I'm just here in my Creative Cloud desktop app, I can see everything I've activated. I can also see little previews here. So that's really helpful because sometimes, well, many times you see a name of a font and you don't remember what it looks like. So this is really helpful. And it just helps manage what you have. And what another thing you can do is see what you previously had active by clicking here. And then you can also, there's another feature we have with the Creative Cloud desktop app to add fonts to Creative Cloud. So if you have another font that you bought from somewhere and you want to use it in your Creative Cloud applications, you want to use it on different devices, as long as your license for that font allows you to do that, you can upload the font here and then it's available like across your devices. For example, on your desktop Photoshop app or wherever.
And also on your
that's
iPad.
A really cool feature.
On your iPad too, which is really cool.
Sorry, I meant iPad when I said that. Everywhere. Okay, so that's Creative Cloud Desktop. So I'm going to get out of there and I'm going to go straight into Photoshop. How did I get there? It was just so fast.
It's like you knew this was coming. It's like you yeah.
So as you can see, I have a template here. I got this template from Adobe Stock. It's a free template and it's, I think it's for concerts. But let's say that Ben was giving a typography lecture and we wanted to sell tickets. The tickets are $0, so it's very accessible. It's basically what we're doing right now. It's a free typography concert that's happening. So if I wanted to customize this, so currently I've only changed some of the words, I've added an image. If I want to customize this further, I'm going to go into my font menu, of course. So when I click on this text, I am able to double click, get to my font menu up here. This is one way to get it. And then another way is here through the character panel. So I'm going to open this. And then what do I see? I see a long list. And sometimes this can be a little bit intimidating or annoying because, as I think Mike said in the chat, I have thousands of fonts installed on my machine, you know, without even Adobe fonts.
Yeah.
So there's a few ways that you can narrow this down to make it easier for you. Oh, I see that Sean's saying, is this free? I want my money back. I can't believe we didn't tell you, Sean. We're going to refund you all your money that you paid for tickets to this live stream. So when I click on this little, here's a few ways to narrow this down. When I click on this little cloud icon, it narrows down to only the fonts that I've activated from Adobe Fonts. So it eliminates the fonts that are on my machine that I may have purchased from other foundries or maybe system fonts on my machine. And it just shows me things that I've activated. So I can go through these and select, I really like this. Maybe I'm just going to keep this one here.
Oh yeah, I'm digging
maybe
that.
I'll just select adhesive number 7. It's also one of my favorites.
Also, the hair is a little bit metal. Let's be honest, it's a little metally.
Yeah, maybe we should do.
I think it works.
So I'll just go back.
Really quick,
go ahead.
Roberto asked, is there any way to mass collapse all of the fonts? And I think that was in the Creative Cloud desktop app, and currently there is not a way to do that. But we will take that as feedback and share that with our product team, because I think we're planning some improvements to managing fonts in Creative Cloud Desktop. So thank you, Roberto.
Definitely. Thank you for the feedback. And please feel free to ask questions or give feedback as we're going through. I just clicked on adhesive number 7 because I really liked it. But as you can see, as I move through these in my font menu, the preview changes on my canvas, which is really awesome. It helps. Oh, look at this. This looks great. Of course, Beastly is always great. It really helps to visualize what you're doing. If you were just going by this little sample here, it wouldn't help as much. So I really like that. So I think I'm going to choose adhesive number 7. But for now, I also want to show you the favorites icon. So this is another way to narrow down. If I click on any of these and make them a favorite, once I click on this star at the top, it narrows down to only those. So as you can see, I just added Adobe Handwriting. Now Adobe Handwriting is narrowed down in that favorites section. And your favorites doesn't have to be just Adobe fonts from the Adobe Font Service. It can be anything from your font menu.
Fonts you've manually installed or purchased. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've selected adhesive number 7. Another thing I can do is look at similar fonts. So this little wave thing means show similar fonts. So if I click on that, it's going to look through the Adobe Fonts library and see if there's anything similar. And also look through your own font menu and see if there's anything similar.
Super cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. So Gothicus, that is really similar. It's a similar black letter style that Photoshop just found for me. Same with Avebury Inline, same with Herb. So if I had a style in mind that I selected and I wanted to see something, oh, maybe this doesn't work out perfectly, maybe there's something else, this similar fonts wavy thing is your friend. So I want to go back to what I had. I really liked this, of course. So we're keeping it as adhesive number 7. And then that's how I would go through and just test out the fonts for each of these pieces of text and customize this whole template. And I think it would look really awesome.
And if you liked something from the template but wanted to do something slightly different, you could do the similar fonts in the font menu and tweak it just to kind of customize it a little bit more for your taste. And so it's not exactly the same as the template, but has a similar feeling, which is probably why you clicked on the template in the first place. So yeah, that's really cool. And also, these templates that we're going to be using today are free in Adobe Stock, and we're going to have links to them in the description as well. So if you enjoy this, if you want to mess around with the same stuff we're doing, definitely check out those templates.
Definitely. I see that Mike said wavy gravy. Maybe that's what we should call it.
We should have the tooltip when you hover over it, it just says wavy gravy, the little helpful text.
Are you ready for some gravy? I see we have a lot of new people joining. So what we're doing here is just going through every app. I just went through Photoshop. Now I'm in Illustrator, showing you how you can access Adobe Fonts and how you can use your font menu so that you can manage your fonts in the best way possible. So if you have never used Adobe Fonts in Illustrator before, fear not. Here is your 3-minute tutorial. It's not a very long tutorial, but
Barkley,
I have this.
Barkley mentioned they missed the similar fonts tip, but we're going to actually show that in Illustrator as well. So
yeah, we can show it again.
You just look for the squiggly squigglies and we'll show you what the squiggly wave gravies look like, and you'll know.
So this is another template I got from Adobe Stock. It's a free wedding invitation template, and I want to change the fonts in it. So it's using Brush Script. It's a script font, but it's just so overused. Like, I don't think if I was getting married, I would not want it on my invite because I would want something more unique. So in Illustrator, we have an awesome feature, and that's this little thing here, Find More. So that means that you can go to the Adobe Font Service through Illustrator
without leaving the app
and browse
at all.
the whole, yes, you're not leaving the app, browse the whole collection. So if I click that here, it says activate Adobe Fonts instantly. So that means I'm not leaving. And the reason why we see all of these fonts at the top is because they have a number at the beginning, because these are sorted alphabetically by default. So this Foundry Design 210 from Korea, they were smart. They got their fonts to show up first. But you'll notice, a lot of fonts start with an A because they come up first in the font menu. That's why my name starts with an A, so I'm always first in your font menu.
I'm a B, so I'm not far behind. So
okay, so I selected this font just in passing, and it looks very bad. Okay, thank God it went away. So what I did was, right now I'm in the Find More tab, and then I changed my classification filters to just classify for script fonts. So here we have all these filters within Illustrator. You're not leaving the app, and I selected script, and then I can also select any of these properties as well to build on that. So if I want a script that has a heavy weight, for example, I can also click heavy. Right now I'm just gonna click on script and look at what is there from the Adobe Font Service that I can use. Now, I don't have any of these fonts active right now. They're just showing me what's available to me if I wanted to activate them. And I can preview right in my invitation. So I think this is a huge game changer.
yeah.
It's not new, but for those of you that, I don't want to pretend that we just released this or something, but I know that a lot of people haven't discovered it before, and I really want everyone to know about this.
No, and if it bears repeating that this saves so much time, and it is you don't have to leave Illustrator, and you can find something that fits the exact need that you have right there in the app on your canvas. It's great.
Yeah, so you can preview through all of these, and if you want to activate it, you click on the little cloud icon. And if you already have it active, it's going to have a little check mark. So I'm going to click on this to show you. This shows me my activated fonts, and they all have a little check mark. And if I want to deactivate it, there's a little X.
And I can see you're able to filter not only from Find More in the Adobe Fonts, all of our fonts, but the ones you have active, you can filter those as well, which is really cool.
Yes. Sean says, I adorn this feature. I like that. Should we use adorn?
I think so. I think we have to now.
One of the fonts. So yeah, I guess I just have to choose one. There's so many options. No, I'm going to choose this.
I like that you can see the previous one with Brush Script, just because as a comparison right below, because Mary Doe is, in that. But the John Smith looks better already. Like, I'm already more excited about that.
For sure. It looks much better. I'm just going to move Mary up because they're in love. They need to be closer. And I would change this ampersand too. But I also want to show you a couple more things. So when I'm in my Find More tab, if I want to find out even more about a font, for example, what Foundry created it, if there's any images that show it off on the website, if there's any, other fonts from that Foundry that are interesting, what are the licensing restrictions, if any. I can click on this little eye icon, and it'll take me to the Adobe Fonts website to that specific family page for that font.
You can find out a lot of information there. So it is, if you really love something, I definitely suggest checking this out and seeing what else is available in terms of its history. Maybe you want to check out the other fonts from that Foundry, etc.
Yes. And another few things in Illustrator, we have that similar fonts feature. So I can go to any specific font, click on show similar fonts, and it instantly shows me a bunch of similar fonts.
Again, I cannot stress how fast that speeds up your workflow. If you need something like this, but not this.
Yeah.
Oh man, so fast.
Yeah. So you can explore so much just through this menu, and the possibilities are endless. The other thing we have is the show favorites, again, just like we had in Photoshop. So I can sort by the ones that I favorited. All I have to do is click on the star and then See, Adore You is now there.
And
And another thing we have is recent. So I don't have any scripts that are recently added, but if I take off that filter, oh, recently added. See, I don't have any right now, but if you did, they would be there. Like if you did it today or the day before.
one thing I wanted to say about the favorites as well is if you're working on a particular project and you're not sure what font you want to use, but you are going through maybe 4 or 5, adding them to the favorites is a great way to then just click through those 5 and really get a sense of how different they are or how similar they are. And then that way you don't have to go through your menu alphabetically to find the 5 you want. You can just put them all in your favorites and test them all out really quickly. So
yeah, exactly.
Ooh, I love that ampersand.
So this typeface is called Beloved. So I think it's very fitting for this wedding invitation. And the ampersand is gorgeous and very unique. So there you go. We did that in just a couple of minutes. We looked through probably hundreds of fonts and we found something we liked. So that's an awesome way to explore the whole library just through the app. You don't even have to leave. And if I go into InDesign, the menu is very similar in that it does allow you to do all those things as well. So I have this template that I got from stock. It's a magazine template and I put it in InDesign. Again, we're going to link these if you want to use them later. So let's say I wanted to change this. Ben wrote a really great article about type trends.
That's what I do, you know.
So I'm opening the font menu and I'm seeing a lot of the same things that I saw in Illustrator. So I do also have the Find More tab and I have all these filters. So I'm thinking that I want something decorative. Ooh. So I'm going to click on decorative. And, oh, see, adhesive number 7. See, it knows that I like that one. Not going to use that again, but I'm able to sort with that classification. And I'm still in my own fonts that I have active. I'm not in Find More yet. So I have to click on Find More to take me to the Adobe Font Service so I can explore things that I've never used before. So I'm filtering by decorative. I'm in Adobe Fonts, kind of like going through the website, but I'm in the app. So it's really easy to just sort through, click on things and preview them on here. I want to see if there's any questions that I missed or comments.
Tim Brown has joined us. Tim is one of our colleagues. Welcome, Tim. Good to have you.
Yes, welcome. For some reason, it's kind of sticky right now, but I'll just show you. I also have favorites here in InDesign, so we can use that option. It also has the recents, as I showed before, and it also allows me to show only fonts that I've activated from Adobe Fonts. So I'm just looking through and seeing like, what have I already activated that I could use again? This one, it's a pretty new release from Hamilton Woodtype. So it's based on Woodtype and it's called Etta. I really like this one. And if I wanted to see similar fonts, again, I can do that using the Wavy Gravy icon that we recently renamed.
Love that Wavy Gravy icon.
We don't have any similar ones because Etta is so unique. So I think that tells me that I should use it.
That's a good call.
Oh, I need to find it again. Did I favorite it? Oh, I didn't favorite. But it's in my, it's in the ones that I've activated. So I can just click on that cloud icon and there it is.
People are asking.
And then I'm just going to change my style so that it doesn't look red and scary.
People are asking about kind of favorites, collections. Can you create your own favorites versus someone else's or share these kinds of questions? And currently the favorites feature here is not shared across to teams and other things, but there are things of course we're always talking about how to bring fonts into more places and in libraries and things like that so that you could create collections or create styles and share them with your team. Those kinds of things are things we're thinking about all the time. So if that's something you're interested in, tweet at us, let us know, because that's definitely stuff that's in the works and stuff we're looking into. So
Yeah, I would love to hear what kinds of features people would like so that they can work with their team in an easier way and say, like, I use these fonts, these are my favorites. Or even like you maybe want to show off just like some new fonts that you liked, but there's more than one and you're tired of sending links over to your friends. Yeah, let us know if that would be something you're interested in. So we looked at Photoshop, Illustrator, and InDesign, a lot of features in the font menus, ways to narrow down, ways to explore. And I think we can go over to the other apps that Ben is going to be looking through, unless there's other questions about these specific things that I just showed.
yeah, if you have any questions about the desktop apps we've covered so far, let us know. I'm going to dive into Premiere. So I'm going to show you fonts in Premiere really quick. And yeah, we'll just keep things moving forward, but definitely let us know if you have any questions. All right, we are going to hop into Premiere. So I'm in Premiere, and Premiere's font menu isn't as fully fledged as what you've seen in Illustrator and InDesign. But of course, we want that to happen. So that is something that we are working on always, is to make sure all of these tools are available in the font menu wherever they can, whenever they can be. So I just wanted to show you basically getting started with motion graphics templates. And this template I'm using, I got from Adobe Stock, as we mentioned, and we'll put those links in the description. But first, I just want to show you how you add a text element in Premiere. This took me a second to figure out because it's not quite the same as you would in XD or Photoshop or those. You actually have to go over to the graphics section. And when you do that, you get all these new tools right here. And of course, you see the type tool. And when you click and add something, you can just start typing. And there you see down here, I have that in my timeline. And that's on my canvas.
That's a great title. I want to see that video.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be so Asdol.
Everyone's talking about Asdol. They're just so excited about it. I'm excited. We're all excited.
I just wanted to address a question from James in the chat.
Yeah.
He asked if we have a suggestion of an online tutorial for a novice who wants to turn a designed font. So I guess he created like some of the glyphs into a usable typeface. I would suggest using FontSelf. And I know FontSelf also has some educational material to help you to convert, your vector drawings into a font. So go on the FontSelf website, download that plugin. I think it's a great resource. And then we have a lot of people asking about XD, specifically Nourish, who now name themselves a Comic Sans criminal. And I know that Tim, also in the chat, who's on our product team, is listening to these concerns. And we are constantly working with the app teams on how to improve the font menu. So it's just like slowly improving and taking into consideration every app. So you can expect that there will be improvements in all these font menus in the future.
Definitely.
Okay, back to Ben.
All right, back to Premiere. So under graphics, if you avoid this edit section, which is showing you all the things you can change, and you go to browse, you can actually see a bunch of motion graphics templates right here in Premiere. And if you notice this little icon, this little T with the warning symbol, that actually means that there are fonts in use here that are not activated on your computer. And so I just want to show you, if you right click on this, you can actually just activate the fonts right here. And then they're just activated. It's that simple. And if you want to use this motion graphics template, you just drag it into your timeline like this. And there it is. And now the fonts are in there. That's Trajan that has been added since I activated those fonts. So that's really an awesome way to just get started with motion graphics stuff and make it a little easier. And when you when you install a motion graphics template from Stock or anyone else that's made them, they'll show up here down at the bottom. And these are a little bit more sophisticated than some of the ones that come directly in Premiere. So I'm going to drag this out just to show what this looks like when you first have it. I'm going to remove my text object and just open this up. And you'll see when I click on it and I'm in the edit, now it's actually showing me global controls, text controls, element controls, and background controls. And so I can dive in, and all of these parameters are able to be changed. You'll see main title. We have our fonts for the main title. And we have main title shadow for the color, which is that little maroon color over there. And then, of course, we have the bottom text. And so what's great is I can start changing those right here. So I'm going to go to the main title. And since I know I'm going to be doing something about space, I'm going to try NASAization, which is based on that NASA logo from the 80s. And you can see that already kind of looks futuristic, space, fun, party time, good times. So that's fun. And I don't like the maroon shadow that much. So I'm going to open up the, where it is, main title shadow, and change that color to something gray maybe. I think, yes, I like that better. And then I'm going to close the text controls. And this image you can see right here is actually, you can replace it just by dragging an image right here on this media replacement. And I'm going to show you. Let me move our heads. And here I have this stock image that I got from Adobe Stock. And I can just click and drag it and drop it right there. And it will put itself into the template. And now we have this. And I'm just going to show you really fast. I made a few tweaks earlier so that we could see this. I'm going to render this really quickly.
So you can use that nasalization font is from Adobe Fonts.
That's right.
And did you have that already active?
I had that already
active. Just in your menu.
I had that already active basically because I made this presentation for y'all. But activating it would have been pretty easy. And this is what it looks like when I've added those fonts and changed them. And then you'll see I did this with another one, which was also on Adobe Stock, just to show it in this context. And you can see Moonshot, and that's also the NASAization font. And so you can see that really quickly, you can grab a motion graphics template, change the fonts to whatever you want, add your own images, and you got something really cool and tweakable that takes you about 5 minutes to update or change, at least in this way. And then of course you can dive in deeper and make a lot of changes if that's something you want to do. But I'm going to show in the font menu again really fast. I'm just going to create a text object again because I just want to show that, like the other font menus, you can go right to the font website, the Adobe Fonts site right here, and browse and activate fonts. So it's not in the font menu, but there's a quick way to get there if you need to. And then of course the favorites, as you are all familiar with now, are also available here. So that's very exciting. Yeah. Any questions about Premiere, let us know. As you're probably sensing a theme that once you activate a font, it's pretty much available everywhere. That's kind of the point. And hopefully you're seeing just how quick it is to get started with this, wherever you're coming from, whatever your app is. It's all very similar, I hope. It can be a little bit overwhelming with all these different UIs and different placements of things, but you'll see here that the font menu is pretty familiar wherever you go. So that's great. I'm going to move over to After Effects. I have a fun, animated GIF that I'm working on. So just messing around with this. It's coming along. I think it's pretty cool. But I wanted to
very cool.
Yeah. I wanted to show y'all how to add a text element here as well. And, type tool up here. If you can just look for that T anywhere, and when you find it, you know what to do. And you'll see if I click on the canvas, it just adds an empty text layer. And since we have 18,000 fonts in our library, I wanted to add that as a call out. And I'm going to just move this maybe to the center. I'm going to use the Align tool to kind of get it centered. But I think I want to use a different font for this. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
very exciting.
No, not very exciting. It's trying to snap to grid.
I just wanted to say hi to people who just joined. Yes. We're going through every app and showing you how to use fonts in that app, specifically fonts that you get from the Adobe Fonts service, and showing you that you can explore the Adobe Font Service through the apps and don't have to go to the website if you don't need to. And just going to say hi to my Greek friend Pablo, Kalispera.
Hello.
Barkley says this is one of the best lives. So thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah.
That's great. It's only our second one on Adobe Live, so we're excited. And then Norsh asks, do we have the right to use the fonts from Adobe Fonts on commercial products? Yes. So the license allows you to use the fonts for commercial use, and that includes like putting it on a t-shirt, putting it in a movie, pretty much anything.
You could create a logo for a client, and
yes,
that's perfectly allowed.
So it's a very permissive license, so you don't have to worry about that stuff. But you can go ahead, Ben, and change that 18,000 into
I think that would be
into one of the 18,000 exciting fonts on the service.
Indeed. So I know I have Lust script activated, and I think that will look pretty cool. But I was curious if maybe I could make this the color of the background, and then when it animates, maybe you'll be able to see the 18,000. Let's see if that actually worked. I think it'll work. Yeah, that kind of looks cool. A little subliminal, you know, a little, maybe not everyone would notice, and maybe you can't read the background now, so that's a problem, but I think it looks kind of cool. So
if you watch it for enough time, then you start to see what it says.
I think that's what I want. I wanted people to stare at this for like a good 20 minutes and then finally, you know, get all of the information. Yeah. So 18,000 Adobe fonts everywhere. Fantastic. But that is in After Effects, and you can see any font I've activated anywhere is available in Premiere, in After Effects, in my Creative Cloud desktop app, in Photoshop. And so also, if you were creating elements in maybe Illustrator that you were going to animate later, all of those fonts would be available as soon as you opened After Effects, because you've already activated them in Illustrator to create SVGs or create anything else like that. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. So if you were creating some, you know, brand collateral, you have to create something printed, you have to create a little sizzle reel video for your brand on social media, all these things. You can use the same font to do all of that. Yep. And just keep your visual identity really cohesive.
Yep. So that's fantastic. And now I'm going to dive into mobile. If there are any questions about the desktop stuff, let us know, of course. But also mobile, I'm going to show off a couple of the cool things you can do on your iPad with Adobe Fonts. So,
all right,
we're here. This is my iPad.
Into the iPad.
And I'm going to start
out of the frying pan and into the iPad.
I'm going to start in the Creative Cloud app, because why not? It makes sense. It's kind of the umbrella of everything. And I'm just going to clear all my filters, and I'm going to browse Adobe Fonts. And you can see.
Okay, so is this, it's like the same thing as the desktop, Creative Cloud desktop app,
very
but it's
similar.
On the iPad.
Very similar.
Okay.
And before we dive.
Same icon.
Yep. And if you see stuff,
awesome.
The language is very similar. You'll be able to find your way around, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to show you some cool stuff just in case. I wanted to highlight the Learn section. The Learn content is increasing all of the time. You can check out the live streams here. You can, of course, look at tutorials by app. And actually, if you're working on a desktop tutorial, it's great to have this on your iPad next to you while you're doing that tutorial. So just check out the Learn content on your iPad whenever you see it. It's a great introduction to whatever's going on. I'm going to go back to the Fonts tab to show you some of this. Now, really quickly, you'll see I have installed fonts. And these are the fonts from Adobe Fonts that I have locally on this iPad, this device. But if I go back, you'll see I have this section right here, active fonts not on this device. And these are the fonts that I've activated that I haven't installed here locally. And so you'll see I have quite a few in this list, and that's cool. I can actually grab this on the side and really scroll around really quickly if I need to. But that's a great way to find if you just activated a font or you're not seeing what you wanted actually on your iPad, you can go to your active fonts not on this device. And of course, if we look at a font, we just tap the plus symbol. It asks us if we want to install the font, and that's it. It's installed. So I now have Lust installed on this as well.
So is there a difference between installing it on your iPad and having it on your desktop? Like, what's
Yeah, so
happening.
when you have something on your desktop, it will show up in your active fonts, not on this device, if you've never done anything on your iPad. And that's because you actually have to tell the iPad that you want to install those fonts because it's actually installing them on the system level so that they're available across apps. And that's pretty cool. So the fonts that are installed here can be shared across apps and also with apps that aren't just from Adobe, which is I'll show you that for a brief second as well. So that's why you have to
Cool.
actually install the fonts so that you can use them across the device. Pretty cool.
And Noor says, I always see that quick brown fox. Yes,
Yes,
it's a
and
pangram. The reason why we use it is because it shows every letter in the alphabet, but you can edit your sample text as Ben is showing now. And you can make it say awesome.
you can make it say so many things, and why not awesome? That's the best. So there we go. So easy. Um, and so you saw how easy it was to install a font. It took 2 seconds. And I just want to show you really quick. Of course, we have the filters. You're familiar with these from the other font menus. And we can go through classifications. We can go through properties. We can go through languages. And we're adding more language filters all the time. So this is really useful if a company you're working with has to support multiple language, if they're a multinational company, or they're just not based in a Latin country, Latin language country. It's great to have this feature available to find fonts that will actually work for both places. So that's really cool. And you can see if I do hand, it will only show me hand stuff. And then of course I can open my filters and clear them and just see everything again. And then finally, I wanted to show you this feature. If you look in the little bottom right, you'll see this little T with a camera, and we can actually take a picture of something and search Adobe fonts for similar fonts. So I'm going to take a picture of this book cover and
Cool.
see if we can find something similar to
So
Oscar.
for those of you that have used Adobe Capture, this is using the same technology.
Yeah,
And it also exists on our website. So we've shown that in some previous live streams where we've dragged an image onto the website
yes,
and seen similar fonts.
Ye-
So it exists on all these surfaces, which is really helpful.
indeed. And you'll see that it was able to find very similar fonts very quickly, right? I mean, Tenez, Baskerville, Cuesta, these all are sharing really similar characteristics, Kepler, to what is on the cover of this book. And so if I wanted to emulate the cover of this book, that would be a great way for me to start or just be inspired. And of course, I can click Kepler and just install this font right here. Now, when I go back and I go to my fonts installed on this device, Kepler is there. You can see I have 2 installed fonts from Kepler. So fast, so cool.
The results for the similar results came out in like 1 second.
It took 1 second. Awesome. Yeah, it was so fast. So that's Creative Cloud desktop. I'm now going to dive into Fresco and show this really quickly.
All right.
You may
Chico, hopefully I'm pronouncing it right, had a question because we said on the iPad they're installed at a system level. It's the same on the desktop.
Yep. So good call.
Ben was just saying the reason why we have to install them again on the iPad is because it's just, since it's a different device with a different operating system, that's why we have to install them there and also on the desktop. Mm-hmm. But in both ways, when you're activating a font, it's installed on the system level, and that's why it can work in all of your app menus, whether or not they're Adobe apps.
Yep.
So
pretty cool.
Here we are in Fresco. Let's keep on moving on. We have so much to show.
Keep on moving on. Jeff says, love the Z and Lust italic. You're no kidding, Jeff. Lust is lovely.
We lust after it.
We do. So this is Fresco, and I really quickly again just wanted to show the Learn section because these are hands-on tutorials in Fresco that actually take you through so many of the features, feature by feature. It's like a live interactive tour with a canvas that you can interact with. Really, really cool. So worth checking that out. Okay, I'm going to go back to home. And I was just going to say, if you're opening up Fresco and you're not sure what to do, just go with current screen size. It's a large canvas. It can be repurposed for other things. If you're just messing around to have fun, go with current screen size. Don't burden yourself with trying to figure out which one to choose. Unless you know you're going to do something square or comic book, I'd say current screen size is a good option. And I just wanted to show you the font menu stuff in Fresco. So I'm working on my little Happy Father's Day, thing, and I've got this font here. It doesn't really feel like, as fun as the background. Feels a little bit serious, a little bit engraved maybe. So I'm gonna see what else is available on Adobe Fonts. I'm gonna select this text layer on the right, and I'm gonna make sure I have the type tool selected. And then I'm gonna open up the options, and you'll see this is an engraved font, as you can see there. And I'm feeling something maybe a little fun, maybe a little silly, maybe a little happy. So I'm going to go to click more fonts at the bottom of this menu. I'll show you that again. More fonts. And this is actually browsing our entire site by tag. And that's something we added to the website not too long ago. And it's a great way to narrow down fonts and find what you're looking for. It's super fast and super useful. So I'm thinking fun, and I'm thinking, silly, and I see funky right here. And that has the word fun already in it. And it sounds like we're about to get silly. So I'm going to click on funky and just start tapping on these. And you can see I can get a live preview of these fonts as I tap through and really get a sense of what these are looking like. And I'm already liking these
Yeah.
better than the engraved stuff.
Ooh,
Ooh,
I like that.
I think Kansas New Heavy wins the day. And so that's how quick it is to find a font you're looking for in Adobe Fresco and quickly drop it on the canvas. And then I just really wanted to quickly show you, I can close that menu, and you can just grab these handles and resize. You can grab the top here and rotate. You really can just interact with the text in a really fun way in Fresco. It's really, really fun. So definitely check it out. Check out those tutorials, and try the more fonts and browse by tag within Fresco. Super fast, super
Yeah.
fun.
And the tags are also available on our website.
Mm-hmm.
So you can access all of the tags either on the website or through Fresco, or also in the next app you're going to show, right?
That's true. So
In Illustrator on the iPad.
Illustrator has even more type tools than in Fresco, and will venture to say it is one of the funnest type experiences on any device anywhere. The way you're able to interact with type with your fingers, really adjusting it and moving it around, it's pretty incredible. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And I just wanted again to point out, in the Learn section, there's actually a using text on iPad right here. You see that? And that is a tour that takes you through all of the type tools on Illustrator. And I'm actually going to use that to show this really quick. Now I'm going to skip the tour because I'm going to show you a little bit of a tour, but this goes through 8 different things that you can do. And what's so cool about this is that this template has all of those things that you can tweak right here in the template. And so you can really quickly just try things out and get familiar with type on the iPad. So I'm going to skip the tour, and I'm just going to focus on this template really fast. And of course, let's see, I'm going to zoom in here and choose this, and then I'm going to open the font menu, and I'm going to choose something else. And I think I want something, let's go with more fonts. This says Tio's Honest Acres. So I think I should go with something friendly so that when they see honesty, they think, oh, this does feel approachable and it does feel honest. And I see Dolly Pro Regular in there. Oh, I like that. Now, I don't like that this is, there's a stroke here instead of a fill. So I'm going to open that, and I'm going to go to the fill instead. Yes, I like that better. Now Dolly Pro Regular, I like that, but I think I want something kind of rounded. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh.
There's also a rounded tag too.
There is, but I just saw Kansas New Black again, and it jumped out at me. I think because I love Cooper, and I think because I love Ask That Nova. Oh, it's a
you
thing.
love those squishy ones.
I love squishy serifs. I just love them. Squishy, huge serifs. Yay. So I'm going to go with Kansas New Black. I feel like Tio's Honest Acres. It looks approachable. It looks friendly. And Acres just has a friendly, welcoming sound to it. This looks like a garden supply store. So that sounds fun. And I'm going to go back out of the font menu. And I just want to show you something that you can do with the type tools in Illustrator. So look at these quick access things under here. When I select this, I can actually grab this and resize it right here. Right? I can change the letter spacing.
So you're just using your finger.
I'm just using my finger. I'm clicking and dragging right here. I can reposition it. Of course, I can lock it. I can click it again. How do I unlock it now? Oh no. What did I do? I think,
Is the layer locked?
yeah, I locked the layer. Which
Yeah,
layer?
I see it.
You do?
Yeah,
Got it.
where it says, yeah.
Yay. Oh, see, and I didn't know how to do that before, and
You
I
locked
figured it out.
yourself out.
That's how intuitive it is. I didn't know how to do that, then I figured it out, so that's a good sign. But I wanted to just show you really fast. There's this little button down here, this little uh, quick actions button, and if I do that, I can actually double tap both of these instead of just one. I can select multiple things, and if I click the T over on the right, I can actually just type on path, and boom, type on path right there. How cool is that?
Ooh.
And you just grab these elements, these handles, and you just start tweaking this text. You can open the type path thing again. You can grab this and you can say, grab this side, or of course resize it. You can grab the handles and rotate it around, recenter it, all of that stuff, resize the text. It's just really, really cool to work with type in this way. And of course, I come over here. If I don't like this for this thing, this is just, again, something fun. I'm going to go with rounded, like Ari said. And I'm going to try some of these out really quick and see. Whoa. Whoa. What did I do? I probably did something.
Where did you?
I think
I think you're good,
there.
but something happened.
Yay.
There was a little glitch.
A little
but
glitch.
We're back.
It's working now. So that is Illustrator on the
Ooh,
iPad.
I like that. It looks so scientific but friendly at the same time.
It looks, yeah, it looks like we're gonna science you up about your garden, but in a nice way. You know? It's so good. So really quick again, this is in Illustrator, and this is just using text on iPad introduction. And that is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to try out type tools anywhere, but also on the iPad. And anything you learn in the Illustrator app, will also apply to Fresco. Fresco doesn't have as detailed of type tools as Illustrator. So if you learn Illustrator, you'll basically know everything you can do in Fresco. So pretty cool. And then finally, I just wanted to highlight, because this is so cool, that right in this is Pages. So I'm going to go back to my documents. I'm going to create a new, let's see, a new note-taking document. And this is in Pages. This is not an Adobe app.
Okay, so yeah, this is where we show you that since the fonts are installed on the system level, it means they work in non-Adobe apps as well.
That's
so,
right.
For example, Pages could be Microsoft Word, could be Keynote,
so if
a lot of different apps on your desktop or iPad.
And there's Lust Script right there, just like I had before. I can open that up. Look how beautiful that is. Looks so good. And this is
so interesting.
Pages.
It looks like the Notes app to me.
Yeah, it's very similar to the Notes app. Well, it's Pages. Yeah.
So I'm like, wait.
Pages from
fonts in here.
Yes. Cool. Isn't that cool? So that's Pages on your iPad, not an Adobe app, with Adobe fonts from Creative Cloud. So that's really exciting stuff. I hope that was a good overview of what you can do on mobile and also desktop. We covered a lot of stuff. If you have any questions about that, please let us know.
I'm in the light now.
You are in the light.
It shows that it's time to adjourn.
Yes, when we see this, we know that the live stream is coming to an end soon.
I wanted to say to Jeff Albertson, I love Gastromond too.
Yes.
It's a really cool font by JTD. James Todd is the designer. So I encourage you to go to the Adobe Fonts website and look at his Foundry and see all the other fonts that he's designed.
Some beautiful stuff. Really good.
I'm going to go put on my sunscreen, everybody.
And I wanted to say, everyone, if you like what we're doing on this stream, come follow us at behance.net/Adobe Fonts. We stream there once a month and also to Adobe Live once a month. So you'll catch other streams on Behance/Adobe Fonts. And we'll be doing streams up with type designers. Someone asked about creating your own typeface. Chances are we'll have a type designer talk about what it takes to create a typeface and all of that at some point in the near future. So if you can, please follow us at behance.net/Adobe Fonts. That shows everyone here that you're digging what we're doing and you're excited about what we're doing. And you'll be able to hear about all the streams that we're doing in the future. And of course, tweet at us. If you have any questions,
Yes.
feedback, any of that, tweet at us at Adobe Fonts on Twitter, and we will respond. We watch that Twitter every single day, and we reply, and we share that feedback with the team. So please do that as well. Thank you so much for joining us for the stream today.
Yeah, thanks all of you, those that have been with us for previous streams
Yes.
and new people. And I hope that we've shown you how to use fonts in each of the apps. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, catch us on our Behance page, our Adobe Fonts Behance page.
And shout us out on Twitter. And I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Ari, thank you again for hosting with me.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Good to see you again and,
we'll
work with you on this. It was so fun.
Agreed. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye, everybody.
Bye.